So I suppose, Neil, let's talk about you. Just is that right? Are you a Mancunian through and through?
Yeah, born in Manchester, live in Manchester. Went to university in Glasgow, so lived there for a little while, but been back in Manchester for 15 years now. Yeah.
Great city. Yeah, I worked there for 5 years. I worked at New Islington Marina.
Okay.
In Ancoats area. So
yeah,
brilliant place. I love it. So do you are you a doctor? Is that what I'm thinking here?
I'm a GP. Yeah.
You're a GP. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you look after people, and obviously you look after yourself. So your passion, maybe if I can call it that, for swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's been embedded in you a long time? Have you always swum?
Yeah, I mean, I was a childhood pool swimmer. So when I was, been swimming since before I can remember. Did swimming lessons at my local pool, and then was a member of Stretford Swimming Club, which is like my local club, and then moved on to City of Salford Swim Squad as a teenager, and swam like competitively at a high national level until I was like 18 and went to university. So I've always loved swimming and been quite good at it in the pool, and it was like a big part of my life as a teen. I was training like 10 times a week, and then when I went to uni, it all kind of fell off. I joined the swim club at uni, but I just didn't swim that much. Probably fell out of love with it a little bit, and just didn't really swim for a long time actually. After that, and then got back into it really just to keep fit. Probably my late 20s, or maybe late 20s, early 30s, started doing a bit of open water swimming and outdoor swimming.
I hear that a lot, and it's a story that I can relate to. Actually, it's like the same. I was a school swimmer, got to a decent level, not as high as you, but was winning locally. So I knew I was okay at it, and it was many hours, as you say, in the pool. And then I just lost all of it, actually, when I went to university and studied. And it took me about it took me nearly 30 years to get back into it again. It clicked one day. Oh, I remember doing that. Maybe I'll try it. And I got stuck on it again. So maybe swimming is about that. It's something that comes and goes, like the flow of the water. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I think definitely like childhood pool swimming is so intense as well at that level. Like none of my friends who did different sports were training 10 times a week and the early morning sessions and everything. So going from that to swimming 3 or 4 times a week is a real drop off. I think that's definitely what happened to me. It's quite difficult to learn to enjoy just doing it for fun, I suppose, rather than having a coach and a schedule and all of those sorts of things.
That might be it. It was the fact that it was a coached session when we were kids. And that sometimes doesn't sit so great with everyone. We want a bit of freedom, and we want to do it ourselves in a way. So it takes a long time to work that out. And so when we get back to open water swimming. So you said that you got back into sort of your own swimming, if you like, on your terms in your late 20s, early 30s. Was that straight back? Was that into open water swimming?
Yes, like I probably did little bits in the swimming pool. Joined the triathlon club just to do the swimming. I did like a couple of triathlons in like maybe 2018. So that would have been what, 7 years ago. And so it was mostly open water. So I haven't done any racing or any events in a swimming pool. I've just done outdoor things, and I've done all sorts of different things when I first got back into it.
So you were about joining an event, were you, rather than packing your bags and going down to the coast and doing it yourself? Were you always into going and joining an event?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not the most like I'm a very confident swimmer, but I'm not the most confident like wild swimmer. I'm not that good of, like you say, just I'm a bit better now because I've got lots of connections in open water swimming, so I have people to do it with. But I wouldn't be just going and putting my stuff in a bag and going to a body of water and jumping in and swimming. I much prefer an organized event, training, competing. Yeah, I'm much happier with stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I do a lot of open water swimming as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I do go on my own, and I do pack a bag and go and find a lake. In fact, I'm by a lake now in France, Lake Annecy. Okay. But it does get the heart going a bit because you worry about safety. Well, I do, obviously, and so I stay very close to the side and make sure that I'm very visible. But yeah, there is a I quite like the energy it brings swimming on your own like that. But
yeah,
I can see why people aren't quite into it, and I think joining event is a great thing.
Yeah.
When you I know you've done a few of the Uswim events in Manchester and Salford.
Yeah.
Let's look at a bit of that in a sec. But let's go back to training and your nutrition and motivations. What would you say to people out there who maybe are looking at this as an option to do? How do you go about training and feeding yourself, and what keeps you motivated?
To train for open water swimming?
To train for either an event or just to keep yourself, exactly. Training for a Uswim event. Yeah.
So I think like the first thing for me is definitely just enter the event. So I find it a lot easier to train and focus and work towards something if I've kind of bitten the bullet and signed up for it. So like I've done a few Uswim events. I've worked with like Dave and Karen on other non-Uswim things. So like I saw on the channel this year. And I feel like for me, the first thing is always like enter it, like pick something, enter it, have it in the diary. And then from that point, you can kind of work towards it. Yeah. And that can be just on your own if you know what you're doing. It can be with like the support of like Karen and Dave, which is what I've done in the past for some of the bigger things that I've done with them, where they've given me specific training plans. But it is really about get it in the diary and then be consistent in that build up. And it doesn't need to be like loads and loads and loads of swimming. It just needs to be swimming consistently, getting confident in the water, getting stronger. And then the knock-on effect for me when I'm training for something is I automatically eat better, because I mean I like eating. Food is a bit of a problem for me, but just in terms of when I'm training a lot, I can eat a lot, which is good for me because I'm trying to restrict my eating is not good. But also if I know I'm getting up the next morning to go and swim, so like if I'm going to swim in Salford Quays on a Saturday morning, I can't be up late eating really bad food, drinking, doing stuff, because I just can't get up and swim well, or get up and swim at all. Like I'll have an upset stomach, I'll feel awful. So just automatically having that goal that you need to do the event, that means you need to train for it, and that means that you can't be eating rubbish, and it all it's like the goal comes first and then everything else kind of follows suit for me.
That's a good way of looking at it, actually. Is you set yourself a target, you book yourself in, you pay your money, and you're sort of hooked then, and you've got an obligation. You've got an obligation then to yourself to make sure that you turn up and do what you need to do. Now you've mentioned that, it's sort of how I think about it, actually, is that you've got to commit yourself at something in the future to get healthy today.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, actually. But you've made me think about that, and that's what I do actually, without realizing it. Because I'm the same. I mean, we've all got up. I don't drink alcohol, so I've given all that up. But yeah, eating is, you can eat too much, too little. You've got to get the sleep in. Yeah, so focusing on an event ahead is a good idea. I did a mad one in 2025. I did a 31-kilometer river swim in Spain.
Oh wow!
I'll send you details. I don't know whether you fancy it, but it's a beautiful swim. It's a lot of current is taking you down at the same time, so you're getting a lot of support from the water. But the last 10 kilometers are really hard, so you get sort of lulled into a. But it's a great objective, that one, for me, from a health point of view, to focus on this longer swim. Great. So we're going to move a bit on. I mean, we've got another few minutes, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But why don't you tell us a bit about the Uswim events you do? You've mentioned Dave and Karen have helped you out with a few things you've done here. You've mentioned the English Channel. You just drop that in there somewhere. That's slightly impressive. So tell me about the events you have done, and what you get out of them.
Yeah, just because I know Uswim and QSwim are like separate entities now. Are we just talking about specifically Uswim things that I've done? Yeah. So I mean, I think that the Salford Quays for me is like a very, very special place. I think it's an amazing place to swim. Some people prefer Boundary, but for me, Salford Quays is amazing. I love going down there. I think there's in some ways no nicer place on a sunny Saturday than go down to the Quays. It's really vibrant, loads of people swimming, loads of people doing other things. People live there, eating, drinking. I love it. And what I really like about even doing the training sessions with Uswim or the organized events is it's literally everybody. So I would think of myself as quite a good swimmer, and some of the things that they put on are literally just for fun. So I've done like the Halloween swim, which is a nighttime swim where it's not very far. It's not a race, no one wins, but it's really good fun. There's loads of people there. I've done with Uswim a 15-kilometer swim around the Quays, which at the time was my longest ever swim. I was in the Quays for hours and hours, but at the same time as I was doing my 15K swim, there was other people doing 10K swim, 5K swim, 1500 swim. There was some people just coming to do a casual, like not part of the event, and just swimming round, doing one lap, or even just going backwards and forwards. And I just love that, even though I'm there trying to do the longest swim that I've ever done, or trying to sometimes win a medal, there's other people who are just getting in and doing head-up breaststroke. And yeah, I really, really like that, that it's not competitive. And that, I think, is what's drawn me to open water swimming as opposed to pool swimming, because that I am naturally competitive. I want to race, I want to win, but it does take a little bit of the joy out of things for me. Whereas when I go down to the Quays with Uswim, after all these years, I know lots of people there, and everyone is so supportive. Everyone says hello, and some of those people are also incredible swimmers that I'm looking up to, and some of those people have then inspired me to do other things. But some of those people are not amazing swimmers. I mean, anyone who gets in, you could say, is amazing, but they're not swimming channels, they're not swimming Windermere, they're not doing front crawl, they're not putting their face in the water, but they're getting in and doing it. And I feel like it doesn't matter if you're the fastest swimmer or the slowest swimmer, everyone's kind of celebrated and cheered and clapped. And that's a really nice feeling. And that's what I really like about their events, that it is genuinely for everybody.
Yeah, it's a great touch, and I think it's a lovely way of putting it. Actually, you're absolutely right. And again, I hadn't thought that through particularly, but the fact that anybody who wants to have a go is encouraged to. It doesn't matter whether you do 100 meters or 5 meters or 10,000 meters. It's just doing it, isn't it? It's getting stuff out, I suppose. Yeah. And it sounds to me, from what I know about Uswim, that's how they operate. And I think that's a rare thing. That's a really great thing to see, actually, that they embrace everyone. You dropped in the English Channel earlier. I suppose we better hear about that. But I'm assuming that's your biggest swim to date.
Yes, yeah. So in 2024, I was scheduled to do the English Channel with Karen Quartermain, and I ended up having emergency surgery, so I had to cancel it. So switched everything around, and then I ended up doing that year a two-way Windermere with Dave and Qswim and Uswim. He piloted me doing a two-way Windermere in September, and then that was my qualifying swim for the English Channel this year. So in July I did the English Channel.
You did? Okay. How was that?
It was amazing, actually. Yeah. It really was. It feels like a lifetime ago now. It was really good. Yeah. It felt like such a big build up, and there's so much stress and tension that I almost didn't enjoy it at the time. But when I think back or look back and look at pictures and memories and things like that, I can't help but smile. It was really good, and all the people that were there. And I mean, I know this is about Uswim, but Uswim and Karen and Dave were like a big part of that. I mean, Karen was on the boat with me, but all the build-up swims and going down to Uswim events and meeting other people who have done things like that is really where these ideas come from, these crazy ideas. I think if you don't ever go down to somewhere like Salford Keys and a Uswim session, you don't meet crazy people who are doing these crazy swims essentially. And it just, yeah. So no, it was really good day.
Great. No, I bet it was. And there's probably a whole story there to talk about one day, but great achievement.